Hey, before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification button. All right, cool. So let's just kick it off. Hey, Transformers fans, welcome back to another episode of mixelpix Transformers Time Warp. I'm Mike, and I'm joined today by another Mike, Mike Lorber. Welcome, Mike.
Hello. How's it going?
Mike Lorber is the guy who came up with the box for the Masterpiece Transformer MP-10 Optimus Prime. And if you didn't see my review of that, go ahead and check that out on the channel. It's a really cool custom piece, and I'm going to be excited to have it as part of my collection, as you'll hear me say in the video. It's so not even just reminiscent, it's almost a carbon copy of the G1 box, just expanded for MP10 and with MP10 stuff on it. So Mike, what is it that drove you to want to recreate a G1 box for this? They've already got packages, you know, for your MP10. I mean, what's the deal?
Well, there was a couple of factors that were involved. First of all, I remember that there was a guy ages ago, like probably 10, 15 years ago, that was on TFW 2005, that had made custom boxes for G1 toys. And he was told to by Hasbro to kind of cease and desist, so that didn't really happen anymore. Fast forward to box formers on Facebook and
I just found them recently. Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah, and foam inserts for some of their gift sets, like the C-Cons and stuff like that. So, you know, really cool. So if there's any fans out there that want to make their G1 collection more whole, should definitely check those guys out. I think about a year or two ago in the Transformers Masterpiece Addicts, one of the admins that I admin with in that group, he's a huge collector. And he pretty much primarily only collects Convoy Optimus Prime. And he asked me, can you design me a box with an insert for every version of Masterpiece 10 that I have? Like, you got a lot of versions out there, right? So I did tell him I could do it. It would just take significant planning and then trying to source out where you would get the insert done and whether or not, you know, if you wanted like the plastic clamshell insert, or you know, or do you want another type of insert, like, you know, foam or styrofoam? So, you know,
yeah, the classic styrofoam that Optimus Prime came with, right? If I remember correctly, it was that white styrofoam. Yeah.
So it was put on the back burner because, you know, COVID hit and all that kind of stuff. So everybody's money was rather limited. Blah 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 blah. So a friend of mine, Akira, in the Vancouver area in BC. He had asked me, like, you know, hey, Mike, if seeing how you're working with Keith, can you ask him if he plans on doing a...
Keith of Transbots and KFC?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
So he was asking me, can you ask Keith if he plans on doing a Stunticon gift set, just like the old G1 set? And so, so I asked him that, and I don't think I got a reply about that. Or maybe I did. I have to check.
That would be big news right now if you did get a response.
He was like, you know, it'd be really cool if it was like maybe G1 styled, right? So that kind of gave me the idea. You know, wouldn't it be cool if Takara Tomy actually released all these masterpieces as G1 homage boxes, right? Like,
I mean, basically at that size, it's like you're a kid again, and that box is huge in your hands, right?
Yeah, exactly. When you were a kid and you saw it on the shelf, it's like, Mom, I want that, right? How cool would that be?
And of course, who are you going to start with, right?
Yeah, who are you going to start with? Well, Optimus Prime, because it's a no-brainer, because it's Prime. So, like, I had my original MP10 box signed by Peter Cullen, and but I thought, you know what? Yeah, it'd be really special to have a G1 homage box, just like the original toy.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where it took off.
Awesome. I'm so glad it did, because, you know, now I've got my MP10 that can fit in the box that you sent to me. So it's very cool.
Totally. Yeah. And then after that, I mean, obviously you can't have Optimus without a Megatron. So he said, well, you're a graphic designer, I mean, you could make one probably. So it kind of initially gave me the idea. So I took as many screenshots that I could find, like really good screenshots that people took of the original Optimus Prime box, because I wanted to cover every angle possible. I wanted this to be like close to perfect as I could. And
it is amazing on every panel. I had forgotten when you had shown me the picture of it laid out flat, that I forgot that you actually did detail on the bottom of the box, and it's got photography on there and some text. And yeah, just like there's no space, no panel on that doesn't have something cool.
Yeah, well, and that's the way I wanted it, right? And the thing is, the really, really hard part about all of it is trying to match the font, because obviously these boxes, came out in 1984. Like anybody out there that's in graphic design knows, there are thousands upon thousands different styles of fonts.
And back then that stuff wasn't digital, right?
No, none of it was digital. Everything was.
Yeah, there's no guarantee you're going to find a font that's the exact copy.
Well, that's true,
of
right?
that.
So yeah, but to find the same fonts that were used back in the 80s, that is not an easy thing to do. So luckily, we have technology on our side.
Did you find anybody specific like that focused on just Transformers fonts and packaging fonts from Transformers, or did you have to actually just go through, font by font and try to visually match it?
A lot of it was visually matching.
Wow.
Then you have to take into account bleeding while, ink bleeding while these boxes back in the 80s are being printed and stuff like that. So you hope there's no smear of any sort or anything like that. So it can be quite challenging.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. Some of these fonts are not free. So,
wow.
it can cost money.
So this isn't something that you were just like, oh, it's just going to be a free thing for me to do. I'm just going to go ahead and slap it together. No,
yeah, exactly. It's not like, well, this is
invest in it.
If anything, yeah, I'm a perfectionist that way. It's got to be spot on, or just keep on searching.
Gotcha.
So what ended up happening next, I almost thought that I was going to keep the original back artwork of the big scene in the back of the box.
Nobody would have faulted you if you had kept the original artwork. I mean, that's classic.
Oh yeah, totally. And I thought, well, I don't want to get sued by Hasbro. That's if they find out. So I thought, well, no, it'd be really cool if masterpieces were used, because this is going to be intended for a masterpiece figure. And then I remembered, oh yeah, there's a guy out there that actually recreated that entire scene. So I was trying to figure out who did that again. And then I came across MichaelKingcaid of FreelanceGraphiks.
So that's the third Mike in this project.
Yeah.
You're the creator, he's a contributor, and I was a sponsor. So we've got the M cubed thing going on here.
Exactly, right? So I reached out to him and I said, yeah, Mike, I'm a graphic designer like you. I'm planning on doing this project. I would like it. I wanted to ask for his permission. Can I use your artwork in this particular project that I'd like to do? And he was really cool about it. He's like, yeah, man, sure. Go ahead. I'll send you a high resolution file, and yeah, go ahead if you want to use it.
Cool. Graphic designer to graphic designer.
Yeah. So and he was.
And then for people who aren't familiar with MichaelKingcaid by that name, right? This is the same guy who goes by TheReflectorFiles on Instagram, correct? And he's got all those cool G1 characters in his collection and stuff like that.
Yep. You can find him on Instagram. You can find him in a lot of the groups online on Facebook. So yeah, he's a really upstanding, really cool dude. And then what was his artwork? It's photography, right, Mike? I mean, it's mixed in with digital art, but he recreates it with MP characters, right? Yeah, he does. And that's pretty much what I really wanted to go with.
That was awesome. That was an awesome ad. Oh my gosh.
And it's a beautiful piece of photography. It's a beautiful recreation, and I love it. Right?
I can't imagine how many hours must have gone into that for him to get like the echoes of the characters flying into place and stuff like that. Oh my gosh.
He does have a video on YouTube on his channel of how he recreated that entire scene.
Okay. We're gonna link to that right here in the video.
I promised him, like, yeah, I'll put your credits on the back of the box because, you know, it's the right thing to do. If you're going to help me on a project, then yeah, I'm going to, you know, put your name out there as well. Right?
I personally love that too, because I love the fact that I'm getting some documentation of the fandom, not just a box. You know, I get to see your logo on there. I know it was done by Freelance Graphics. I get to see my logo on there as a sponsor, and I'm like, wow, you know, now I am part of my own collection, you know?
Yeah, exactly, right?
MichaelKingcaid is, I mean, I think he's pretty much legendary as far as Instagram Transformers accounts go.
You know, with this fandom, I mean, there are a lot of really great people out there that are really doing some fantastic stuff. I mean, if we're truly to be a community, I mean, I believe in just helping out the other guy. You know, heck, one day we might not be around doing this stuff anymore. One day I might say, you know what, had enough of this. It was a blast while it lasted, you know, and just maybe stop doing it. Perish the thought. So,
yeah, I mean, you might move on to a different hobby or just another project that's going to take you a lot of time, you know.
Exactly, right? Or, you know, hey, might end up, you know, doing some other line of work or something like that, that I just don't have time for this anymore, right? So, yeah, you know, might as well plug while I can plug and help out who I can help out in the meantime. So, yeah, he was like, yeah, as long as you put my credits on the back of the box, I'm cool with it.
It's actually, sorry if you don't mind me saying, I just realized, remembered that MMC, Ocular Max, their Ocular Max series has the logos of the people, I guess, and the companies that contributed to the box art and stuff like that. So, like, Pake for Life is in there. Yeah, and he's exactly. one of the you know, YouTubers for Transformers, and so it's just cool. Like, you get to see his logo in there and see that he was actually a part of that. You get to see that your logo's on there and see that you were a part of that. So yeah. Like
when I first started out with Keith with X Transbots, doing Dr. Egg and whatnot, he did the same thing. He's like, you know, would you like your company logo on there? And I'm like, yeah, totally, sure. You know, because one day well, I mean, that I can prove to people that, yeah, I did this, right?
Where is that logo on the package?
If you look, well, it's actually not on the package. If you look at the back of the instructions.
Yeah.
Yeah, my logo is like, you know.
Right that's cool. Okay, I'm going to look at that because I didn't even, I honestly didn't think to look for that. So that is really cool.
And I didn't want to put further screenshots of, say, like the robot points, like on there, just, you know, take a picture of it and slap it on there. I recreated that.
Yeah, it all looks like you must have recreated it down to the UPC code. I mean, everything is crisp.
The UPC code is the actual UPC code that was on the original box.
Awesome.
So I recreated the robot points, the tech specs, and yeah, everything is like a total recreation, and I wanted to keep it as faithful as possible to it.
I love the detail that you put into all of those little things. Like, you actually recreated the text in the right corner of the top of the battle scene, you know, and all that, those little nods to just how much it's just almost just like you just blew up the box for MP10.
Yeah. So yeah, everything had to be lined up pretty much like close to perfect.
Yeah, the layout had to be almost exact.
Yeah, because
as exact as you could get it.
Because that's my OCD. So yeah, same with like the bottom of the box and all around, right? Actually, let me get my box right here. So yeah, I wanted.
There's your copy. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I wanted to recreate the whole grid on the top, and obviously, you know, going across. And
I love the transformation arrows to the step by step. That's really cool.
Yeah, exactly, right. Well, because again, yeah, it was on the
original.
It was on the original, so yeah, darn shooting right, and it's going to be 4 primes that are in transformation. So yeah, so again, I'm just going to recreate it the same exact way. So, but on the front of the box, obviously, I wanted to recreate it that was obviously on the original. So I created basically like a composite shot right here because I only have like one MP-10. And it's not exactly as easy to recreate the drawn kind of painted version of Prime that was on the original box.
They're odd poses anyway, usually.
Yeah, they're very odd. So you can't exactly do the same way.
But it's enough of the same that it's a very it's a nod, huge nod. You basically tried to do the same pose.
Yeah,
and it's as close as you could really get, I would imagine.
Well, pretty much, right? I mean, I had a lot of other people say, you know what, you should probably give people the option of whether or not you should do a leave it like the original G1.
Yeah.
Or just leave it as a masterpiece.
I love the masterpiece photography in that idea better than the G1.
Yeah,
personally.
So and instead of just leaving it, if it's going to be a masterpiece box, I'm just going to leave it totally masterpiece.
And that really sells the idea that you recreated it. It's not like you just had a box and scanned it and you blew up the proportions and had it printed. It's like, no, you crafted a new packaging for this.
Yeah, everything was from scratch. I mean, except for the title, the Transformers.
Yeah.
That are on the top tab. Everything is everything is from scratch. I had to go to Alibaba and talk with a manufacturer in China for the insert.
Oh.
For the foam insert. So that was that was an ordeal. So and on top of that, for me, it was a very big learning curve because you kind of get to know the materials that you want to use, but you don't know the terminology. So you kind of learn that very quickly.
Sure. Well, it came out looking really nice. I mean, it's got the right shape. It fits it, pretty darn snugly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, whatever you and the manufacturer had to do to figure out the details. It was a nice job.
I wish that when it came over, when they shipped it over, I wished it was like packaged a little bit better because some of the foam was actually kind of like separating from each other a little bit here and there. So don't worry, I kept that version, so you didn't get that version. So right now I'm kind of looking at alternate ways of possibly making inserts for, I don't want to say cheaper, make it sound like it's less quality.
Right.
Less expensive and alternatives. So I'm talking with one guy to see how much a actual styrofoam insert would be, because he does have a little bit of experience making that, which That's would cool. Actually make it a bit more of an homage to the original box, because the original box had styrofoam. So kind of a bonus in a way.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm also looking at possibly making maybe a cardboard type of insert on top of that.
Sure.
Just trying to make things more cost effective.
Yeah.
So
and still present nicely.
Yeah, because I'm the type of guy that likes to watch my pennies, and I'm sure that a lot of fans out there and whatnot are the same way.
Well, the toys haven't been getting any cheaper, that's for sure.
No, that's true, right? Especially fans' toys. Oh my God. So should I market this for collectors out there? I do want to make it as much as accessible to everybody. Yeah, so the printing of the box, the type of material that they use, I know it was a type of cardboard of sorts. I did want to use maybe like a 24-point type cardboard, the same that is usually used in toy packaging, because I did want to match the same material like that was used in original packaging with the old boxes.
Sure.
And and I mean, I had a sample because when they did the re-release of the mini bots, it's essentially the same cardboard. So the thing is, they really didn't tell me much into how they were going to print it. And yeah, unfortunately, with the ink where they scored it, yeah, there are particular cracks and whatnot. I kind of get that with, folding cardboard and whatnot, where they scored it because, that's where I marked it where it needed to be scored.
Well, and you don't really, I wouldn't really think about that necessarily until I saw the problem, right? You look at a box that comes from a manufacturer, and it always looks like it's fine on the corners with the print just wrapping around naturally. So you don't really think about how difficult that might actually be to do and what kind of specialty equipment they might be using.
Yeah.
Maybe they're using some kind of heat press on those areas, to bend the boxes, and then you don't have a heat press, and all you have is a score, and yeah, the print rips.
Yeah, exactly. So I was a little bit disappointed with that. So yeah, that is one thing that I definitely want to talk to them about, if there's a way that they can solve that problem, so that doesn't happen again.
So it sounds like you've got the basic recipe. You're just trying to figure out exactly how you need to tailor it so that it comes out to perfection.
Pretty much. I do love the ink, how everything is printed. Don't get me wrong.
The feel of it, I noticed the print is actually kind of thick. Like I could actually feel the lettering on the front.
Yeah, it's almost slightly embossed almost.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. I mean, it's a really nice quality print.
Yes.
So
it's got that semi-gloss kind of pebbly finish.
Yeah.
Which is nice to feel.
Like a bit of a matte.
Yeah.
Yeah. So which is great. Yeah, because I didn't exactly want to go glossy.
Right.
I kind of thought that might be a bit too much, right? So it's probably going to boil down to the kind of cardboard material that they use. If I can switch that up, then yeah, everything hopefully should be hunky dory. And if there's a way that they can suggest of taking out the cracking, then yeah, it should be even more superior than what it is. So yeah, after that, it's just basically figuring out all the pricing on it, and if I can get it down low enough that everybody will want one, or most people, if there's enough interest, then then the next one I'll do is Megatron. So I already have one person begging me to do Soundwave, and I'm like, yeah, just chill, dude. Should this pan out, I'll do a Soundwave. So
you got to do Optimus Prime, Megatron, Blaster, and Soundwave. Like you got to have that, the versus Blaster versus Soundwave.
Yeah, the ones from Japan. Yeah, that should be actually a pretty good idea. So what I want to do.
Oh wait, did I give you an idea? I didn't. There's a package from Japan that does an actual versus. The versus, yeah, I think. Right. So just trademark that, But eventually, should it take off, what I do want to do is, aside from the official releases from Takara Tomy, what I would like to do is also do third party, whichever is the closest representation, to those characters. Like, for example, let's say Bad Cube. Yeah. Right. That's the closest representation that we got to this grumpy little fellow. Gears, yeah.
Yeah, to Gears. Or, for example, like, we got Mackey Toys Downbeat Jazz, right? And I mean, I really love this Jazz, right? I mean, if I were to do a box of this now, Fans Toys one is rumored to be coming out soon.
Oh, soon, okay. I didn't know it was coming out soon, but I've seen the render, and the render looks good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's Fans Toys, right? So, I mean, it's pretty much going to be spot on, right? Or really, really close, right? So it's like, well, do you do Make Toys or do you do Fans Toys? Because doing these boxes, I won't lie, it takes a lot of work.
One of the benefits, though, like actually doing this groundwork, is then you do have some templatizing type materials around, right? Like you have a grid, you have the colors, you have and once you create a certain size box, as long as the characters are similar size, you can swap out graphics and things, right?
Well, yeah, that's true. it's not about wasting time, but it's about, how much time do you have?
Mm-hmm.
And which one is probably going to be the biggest hit, right?
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, can you really make everybody happy, or do you?
No,
Yeah.
and you can't. You never can. And as well as I do, in this fandom, nobody is ever truly happy. So
You know what? I have to admit, I have been feeling like that lately over the past year or so, as people have ramped up with the cartoon accuracy, talking point about their collections and what they want from fans toys. And I don't care about the cartoon accuracy as long as the character represents the character. And so for me, like, the cartoon accuracy is not really that great of a thing, but it just goes to your point, like, nobody's ever happy.
Exactly. And if anything, with me, with my collection, because I'm such a stickler for detail, and that's my lot in life, unfortunately. Well, for example, Mirage, right? I had the MMC one, and I was perfectly happy with that. Perfectly happy. And then Transform Element one came out, and now I have that one. I sold my MMC, and that Transform Element Mirage, it's really good. I mean, it's really good. And
I did a similar thing. Like, I was kicking against the whole cartoon accuracy thing, but when Transform Element came out, I was like, let me see what this bot's like.
Yeah.
I did like the way he looked in his bot mode. The alt mode is what got me the most, because I like the MMC realism in the alt mode.
Yes.
If they could have done an MMC realism in the alt mode, but kept the tune with, I think that would have been a perfect marriage for me, because that bot is really cool, and it's well crafted.
It is. And I love that MMC one, but I do know that they're more geared towards the Ox look than anything else, right? And trust me, I mean, I love the Ox look. It's very stylized, it's very sleek.
Is that what their term Ocular Max is actually referencing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the Ox look.
The OX there.
Yeah. From the design works and stuff like that, that Ox Studio in Japan did, like, way back when. But now, yet again, Fans Toys is coming out with their version of Mirage, and more than likely is probably going to nail it.
Yeah, the only thing that I have against that, like, is the simplicity of, like, the color scheme and the lack of any kind of embellishments beyond what is kind of already in this cartoon animation model.
Yeah.
I like having a little bit of chrome, a little bit of details other than just what you saw in that very basic. Come on, everybody's got to admit, those are as basic as they could get them to make them animatable, if that's a word.
Yeah, it is a word now. So, so that's basically what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it in such a way that, whatever is the most cartoon accurate third-party figures. I mean, like, for now, say X-Transbot's Trailbreaker. That's the closest that we got. For, say, Huffer, I mean, I know Fans Toys is coming out. The closest one, if I were to do one, it'd be the Bad Cube one.
Although you'll have people arguing
would be
sure.
So, what's that? For the Insecticons, would be, say, like, their Fans Toys. So that's the plan. So we'll see how far this goes.
I like Fans Toys. I like their quality. But speaking for the other side, who's not just completely sold on Fans Toys and everything they're doing, especially, I mean, now, perhaps you could put a little poll out to the marketplace and find out if there's enough interest in an MMC version, say, or, like, I'm going to do the Insecticons. Which line should I make the box for? And, like, whoever gets the most votes, I do a box for that.
Put a poll, basically.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, because at least then the fandom actually speaks.
Well, true, yeah, and you know what? I do like it when the fandom does obviously have a say. But
then again, it's also your creation.
True. I can see if there's much of a call for it. then yeah, I mean, I don't mind putting in the extra work for those out there that that do have specific versions and think that theirs is, you know, the best one out there. You know,
Yeah.
I don't mind doing that. You know, if it helps someone enjoy their collection even more, then yeah, fine. I have no problem with that. The only thing is that I would need, you know, accurate measurements. So if somebody can help me out that way, then I have no problem.
Cool.
I do have to say one thing. Bobby Skullface has seen the box, so he would also like to actually give people a heads up about the box and about the intentions on his channel as well. So,
well, Bobby Skullface,
as well.
I'm sorry, you're getting scooped because I got Mike first. So here you go. MixelPix has got the exclusive.
That's right.
You can pick them up too. I'm not going to hate, but you know, I'm also not going to, you know, hold the bag here and wait for you to get it done.
There you go. Right. I mean, you did approach me first. Can't change that. So.
But yeah, that's totally awesome. I'm glad that you got his attention on that. That is really cool. I mean, he's one of the big YouTubers that got me actually started in my collection. You know,
yes, there you go.
Him and TM Reviews, and I liked how straightforward and you know honest he was about his assessments. You know.
Yeah. And yeah, that's what I like to see in the whole community as you know, as a whole. Just basically everybody getting together and everybody helping out everybody else. You know, that's why I'm grateful for MichaelKingcaid for allowing me to use his artwork and having the input of the fandom out there. Yeah, maybe do this, maybe try that, you know, and listening to everybody's opinions and, you know, formulating a plan of attack on this kind of project and whatnot. So should things go well and I get enough feedback,
well, should things go well, you'll be on Bobby Skullface's channel too, you know, and doing that. But Bobby, I did scoop you, so you got to hand it to me. I got him first.
This is now between you two, so I am staying out of this. But no, he's really cool that way. So he said, you know, once you got things figured out of you know, pricing and whatnot, then yeah, I don't mind advertising it on his Patreon and whatnot.
Heck yeah,
you know, that's really cool of him.
Oh,
so,
that's totally cool.
Yeah, you know, because you don't see a lot of people like that that just want to go out of their way and help the fandom. I mean, like Ben has with reviewing the posters. I mean, that's awesome. And like, you know, you've come out and done the same thing and
got a few of them posted on my Instagram.
Yeah,
haven't done videos on them like Ben has. But
thank you very much for that too. You know,
for sure.
You know, and that's what community really actually is. You know, everybody helping out everybody. So
and it does make the passion that other people have, you know, just enhances my collection and my experience of collecting. So you know, and it's fun to get around other people who are not only collectors, but you know, when they're jazzed about something creatively, you know, and so you know, you do a box, you do a scale chart, you know, Bobby does his dioramas, his you know, his Nerd Rage radio, and you know, you got a lot of creative energy out there that this fandom has. You know, it's really cool.
Totally.
So it sounds like, you know, before you ever actually can get to the, you know, the fans toys version of the G1-style box for, you know, for the bugs, you've got a ways to go as far as trying to figure out how this project's going to work, right?
Yeah.
So you're taking basically making an interest list to find out how many people out there would be really interested in this, and then trying to figure out the cost point on that.
Yeah, there's a couple of other materials that I do want to get together, see how cost effective that's going to be. And then what I want to do is I will definitely spread the video review to as many groups that are out there on Facebook, for example, and try to gauge an interest to see, you know, who out there would really like to go for something like this. Right?
Absolutely.
And
I'll promote the review on my page, of course. The you know, the what is it? I don't even remember the name of my own group. You know, you're one of the 5 members, you know, on my page, but I'll definitely promote it on there and probably do a little. I'm going to do a boost for it, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, it helps you out. It also helps MichaelKingcaid out.
And it helps get this project out there. And the whole point is to get this project out there, right?
Exactly. And what I would also like to do, if there's enough interest, for the Series 2 wave of boxes, obviously it's a different background scene. I would like to see if enough money is made from this to maybe hire Mike to do the next background scene. If he's willing to do something that huge.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe he might want to do it. I don't know. So,
hey, but if anybody's got him, he must. Have you seen his collection photos? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Just everything in box and stuff like that. Boy, the dude's on fire.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. And he presents it so well.
Yeah. It's like the next day, look what I got in this box. And then the next day, look what I got in this box.
Yeah, and a lot of that stuff he's showing looks almost like it's mint.
Yeah.
And it's like, where do you find this stuff that's still in a box that's mint? I'm
starting to think he's making his own boxes. So,
well, if he is, he's not telling anybody, because I asked him like where he got one of these custom boxes for, what was it, Goldbug or something like that on a shelf, and he was like, I got it from eBay years ago.
Yeah, and it was probably one of those boxes that were made like ages ago that Hasbro said, So. Once I get a good rough idea of the fan interest in this, then I will make the price as acceptable as possible and put it out there. So.
All right, awesome. And so if people are interested, they can reach you at freelancegraph@hotmail.com.
Yep.
And they can look you up on Facebook at FreelanceGraphiks with a K.
Yep.
They can message you on there, but email is the most direct way to get you. Is that right?
Yes, or seeing how this is a box, they can also check out the Transformers Passport.
That's the group on Facebook?
Yeah, that's a group on Facebook. Basically, for any of those fans that are looking for instructions, cards, or actually original boxes to complete their G1 collection or any other collection for that matter. Anything that basically is not a figure, they can go right there and find out any information should it become available in the future. And, if they're looking for paperwork of any sort, then they can search there too.
All right. So that's freelancegraph@hotmail.com. Yep. That's FreelanceGraphiks with a K on Facebook. Yep. And then Facebook Transformers Passport. Is that what you said?
The Transformers Passport.
The Transformers Passport.
Yep.
Cool. 3 ways to contact Mike. And also, Mike, you do scale charts. You mentioned those.
I do.
Are amazing scale charts. So people can also just contact you there at those locations for interest in those too, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Everything from G1 and the Japanese series and Beast Wars and Robots in Disguise 2001, the Unicron trilogy, Transformers Animated, the whole Michael Bay Bumblebee universe, and the Aligned universe. That's a lot.
So is that covering all the series? Like, I wasn't sure when I did my review where when I was talking about those scale charts, like how broad you actually have covered. Have you covered everything?
That's pretty much every series. Wow. Except the one that came out, I think, last year, that Cyberverse.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't done that one yet. I know it's like 3 seasons long and whatnot.
Okay.
I'm kind of giving myself a little bit of a break on those scale charts. So, so maybe there might be one for that. I don't know.
All right, so go ahead and check Mike Lorber out and scale charts. Benscollectables called him the Scale Master, Mike the Scale Master Lorber. So I think that needs to live on. Check him out on Facebook. Give him an email. Just get in contact with him and say hi. He's a really cool guy. So if you're interested in the box, give him a contact, and hopefully we'll get these out for sale soon.
Oh, and incidentally, once I do get a Masterpiece 44 Convoy, I will redo the box again for that one.
And that's, of course, if there's enough interest in the MP-10 version, right?
If there's enough interest.
Okay, so if you're interested in scale charts or this new MP10 box, give Mike an email at freelancegraph@hotmail.com or get him on Facebook at FreelanceGraphiks with a K. Also on Facebook at the Facebook page Transformers Passport. You can get him there too. Mike, thank you. It's been really nice to talk to you and learn more about what's going to happen with the box and possible future boxes if people are interested. Mike, thanks so much for spending the time here on MixelPix. And Bobby, I scooped you.
Not a problem. Pleasure to be here as always.
Thanks, Mike. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later, bud.